Alright, hey everyone, I am back here. Brand new game concept here. I'm going to try to start a new channel up here. This is the game Ultimate Golf. It can be found in the Play Store and also the Apple Store as well. And it's called Ultimate Golf, and it is similar in concept to games such as Golf Clash, but there's some key differences, and I just wanted to kind of go over some tips and strategy and maybe do some holes here to just try to make a transition over to this game a little bit more simple. Because what I'm noticing with this game is it's probably the hardest game that I've played. Out of all the mobile games available, this seems to be right at the top of the hardest. But also has that nice, very similar concept and feel to thing like Golf Clash. So it is set up to play like that. It still has the rings. But there's some major key differences which makes this game a little bit tougher. And one of the initial things that I just wanted to kind of point out involves slope and the way that it plays in this game. It's a little bit more realistic. For instance, if I'm by the green or if I'm coming out of the bunker and I'm landing on a downslope and it's going to run out to the hole, it's going to be very tough to stop that ball in real life. And in this game, it parallels that. You're going to see that it's very challenging to stop the ball unless you're landing on an upslope. So you really have to pay attention to the slope in this game a lot more than any other of the ring-based, very similar games that I've played. It's the most challenging to really be able to figure out. And similarly, what kind of relates to this is wind effect as well. So the wind effect is also really going to change. It's a lot more of a massive leap, I feel. It's very similar to Golf Clash in nature, but it's even more pronounced. So, most of the mistakes players are going to make is they're just not going to be good enough wind effect players, more so than anything. The rings, for the most part, do seem to parallel just a little bit, especially in the earlier clubs. It's only when you get to the later clubs where it seems to kind of really change compared to Golf Clash. I just want to kind of set up some basic, and why don't I just jump in here and we'll jump in here and do a couple matches, and I'll just try to walk through some basic tutorial here to make this transition into this game just a little bit easier. Now here you can see we have pin in the middle of the green. I'm going to use my top spin. I'm using the Battling Ram, which is very similar to the Rocket in Golf Clash. Now I'm going to just aim over in the side of this fairway, but you can also see, and from this view it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see just a little bit of slope left to right. So I am going to curl it back to the left just a touch and just put this ball into play here. And we're going to just max my power, try to get it down here as far as possible. The farther you get it closer to the green, the easier you can make this pitch. Now I have very basic clubs. This is a brand new account this is only my third game played. So, but what you'll see, the guide isn't really shown. I know that it's going to kick probably just a tad left. I'm thinking somewhere around here. Should kick just a tiny bit left because of where I'm landing on the slope. So slope really plays a critical role in this game. Got a great shot anyway. So this is going to be but you can see how it's kicking to the left and then rolling out to the right. So not the greatest shot there, but should be good enough. Hopefully, still make my birdie putt. Another thing I want to note is putting is extremely difficult in this game, especially if you're using basic ball. What's interesting about the design that it seems is if you're using things like basic ball, you're going to find putting extremely difficult. But if you actually upgrade to a premium, if you upgrade to more of a premium ball, so let's go to the balls here. I'm noticing, you know, if I use not so much a cruiser, but if I use something pretty much the next tier up, and, you know, kind of the higher that you use it, I feel like the Pro D1s, they almost never miss. They go very true. Mojaves are kind of the same way, but maybe just a little bit less. I do think it might be scaled. I can't tell for certain, but I do have a hunch that the better the ball that you have, the better its putting attribute. And if you're using these basic low-end balls, you're going to find that it is a little bit harder to make the putts. However, you still can make the putts. So, you know, it's a really fair concept, but it is, you know, very challenging to be consistent. So let's do just a couple more here. I might even go ahead and jump in and do the tournament and just put together a basic tournament guide just for those players who want to try to come over here and actually transition. I think it'll be a lot easier hearing me explain kind of the way that you should be doing things, to make sure that you, you know, have the confidence and don't just want to give up on the game. Because like I said, it is going to be a challenging game where skilled-based players are going to have precedent over the shot memorization players. And that's something I love. So you'll see that the tournament wins aren't fixed, which is something I totally agree with. You know, I've wanted a concept like this for a long, long time, so I'm glad that it's finally here. And one of the things that you'll see is I'm about half club here for my wedge. Same thing though, you know, you saw how I played the last hole. It's going to run out quite a ways, so I'm going to just play it off the front even with no guide. I know that this kind of lands on a downslope. It may just play just a touch of wind, maybe to right here. That might even be too much. Let's just see how this plays out. A little bit better with my timing this time. And just missed it. So just a little bit light on my wind, but you can see, you know, especially once you kind of understand the way that these holes play out, you know, it does make it a lot easier. So here you see we made our birdie. And we are going to go to the shootout here. So let's see what I can do on the shootout. I'm trying to think, tour one. It's probably, yeah, this short one. And backspin seems to be a premium on this shot. So without the backspin and without the wind direction, sometimes what I try to do here is just this little bump here. You can see that I'm going to try to land maybe right on this fringe here. And just be very careful. I'm thinking something along the lines of this. Maybe just a touch of curl just because of the fact that, you know, it's kind of sloping to the left. And we called our ultimate shot. See if I can just clip that rough. And there you can see that I'm able to roll it out if I just clip it. So it's the only real way that I know of getting it close in the early going, is to play it like that. So I'll do that later. So let's keep going. Let me do one or two more in this basic tutorial. I'm about to open. Let me at least unlock that one. And as I mentioned, you know, this is just going to be just a basic brief overview about this game. You know, one of the things that I do want to just comment on is the developers from, I've been playing this game 6 weeks, and they are putting out regular updates, fixing bugs. They've been doing it every week, every time that I see a bug. I haven't even really reported too many because I feel like other guys probably have been taking care of them. And, you know, they've been right on top of it, putting out new content, you know, fixing stuff that isn't working perfectly, and it's really, you know, going pretty well over here. I think these guys, really have a good foundation and a sense of direction with what they're trying to do with this game. And I look forward to seeing where this game is headed in the future. Because I think this is, you know, top notch for a mobile. So let's look here again, you know, very similar. I know it's going to kind of kick right and then bounce left. So I'm just trying to kind of account for both of that. We also have to keep in mind wind effect. Now remember what I said, you know, when I have wind pointed in the face, this might want to not release quite as much. So you might not want to pull back quite as much, just to make sure that and I almost had that one. It looks like you know, it did come in just a little bit hot too. I was just a little bit light on that adjustment. Almost able to get it. So another birdie there. Of course, with 15 trophies, we are going to unlock Tour 2. So let's see if we can't grab this shootout, see what we have for a wind. You know, like I was mentioning about the ring adjustment, in these early levels, it is very similar to what you would expect on Golf Clash. My accuracy's down there real low, maybe 20 or 30. So with that being said, at a 20-30 accuracy, I'm thinking, you know, 2.5. So I'm thinking, you know, half of a ring on this one. So you can see right around the half ring mark is where I'm trying to get this to land and try to get it to just touch the rough. And surely enough, let's bump it right up there, right by the hole. See if I can't just grab maybe. I think there's another hole in this tour if I remember. I swore that there was another par 4 that was a little bit different. Instead of a wedge, it's a little bit farther. But we do keep grabbing this one, which I have no problem with. I think this is the easiest hole for this tour. So I have no problem with grabbing this hole. You know, even with the limited guide, I think you can hold this one out. So let's see here what we have. See what the wind looks like. Okay, a little bit to the right. Again, I'm just going to try to, you know, I'm actually going to kind of change this. I'm just going to put the backspin on now. Get it coming in just a little bit softer. Should still take about the same rollout. Aside from this, you know, right around half a ring. I'm not even going to worry about turning it. Just going to kind of use eyeball and feel for this. So I'm not even really using the rings. And, oh, man. Man, was that one close. So again, just a little bit too hot. And you can see that's the majority of the reason why it deflected off. But it looks like I'm going to pick up the win here. I think my opponent missed his putt. Or pitch, one or the other. So let's see where we're at. I think that puts us up to 18. Let me try to do one more and just close this tour out real quick. Maybe we'll grab the other hole. Let's see if I can. It looks like I did. It says hole 10 this time. So this will be a perfect hole to close on. So again, like I said, you know, we just are, I'm going to try to, you know, kind of put together a couple brief tutorials, see what people think, and if they want to use it. You know, that's another thing. If you want to follow my content and you know, want to see me develop more content, you may want to, you know, comment in here, say stuff like that, because if it doesn't seem like there's a lot of interest, then, you know, I might not, you know, worry too much about doing it. But I think, you know, this is a great game worth trying to get an account in now and just progress it and just see where the developer goes with the game. Because I do think, you know, that there putting the time in and doing some good things. And, you know, once a lot of the new content comes in, it would be nice to have an account kind of ready to go. So, you know, even if, you know, you're not psyched about the game right up front, I think maybe just putting an account in the game and just progressing it, you know, unlocking your free chests, stuff like that, just until this game really, really starts to take off. But, you know, it's just one of those things. It's going to take the developers a lot of time. You know, Golf Clash didn't develop overnight. If you guys were there for the beginning of Golf Clash, you know, we had so many, it was so limited with the content. There was almost no tournaments. Tournaments didn't even exist. I think we had one tournament in the first 4 months or 3 months. And then there was another one, but then there was like another 2-month wait. So it started very slow. It's just something that takes a long time and a lot of investment to do. So you know, the best suggestion I have would just be, you know, give the developers you know, a chance to make this game great. And you know, if you can throw a couple bucks at this game, you know, I do want to kind of talk about that as well, because you can see I'm playing with this battering ram. Well, it's not going to be a great club for me early on to have this, because what's going to happen, I'm not going to be able to get to a lot of the par 5s and 2. So, and you know, I think, you know, for not that much, let me go to the store here. I remember when I was, so this is my second account, but I knew that, you know, okay, so this says club refreshes in 12 hours. So once that refreshes, I remember pretty easily being able to get Outlaw. They seem to prioritize putting that, and maybe it's not for everybody, because I can't speak for sure, but the Outlaw comes in real quick. And what the Outlaw is, it's like the extra mile. And you can see here, you know, they have that, there's this $4.99 package. Let's see what else there is, because I think there was another small package. So here's another one, you know, $9.99, Tour 3 Platinum. A Tour 3 Platinum could really open up some options for you. And, you know, this is what I'm saying, you know, just kind of like a $10 package, 1,300 cash. That 1,300 cash is going to allow you to do a couple things that you may, you know, once these clubs come in here, start coming in here, I can show you some of these clubs. The Outlaw, that you'll be able to get, you can see right off the bat, 24 extra yards. And you know, that top spin, once you get it to a 2, 3, 4, it really starts becoming, you know, the club that you want to use. And you can easily buy 5 cards the very first time it shows up in the shop, and automatically have it at a 3. So, you know, it's just kind of a good, and you can see, you can see, I haven't really been playing this game, but I got lucky with my account. You can see I got El Capitan. So this is actually this is really going to help, because you can see that it has 78 top spin and 191 power. So I automatically have a good 3-wood to get into the green. And you saw I brought this account up. I've only played 6 games. I really lucked into that club. I know I did. I didn't get that. I didn't unlock that one for much later, my first playthrough. But here you can see, you know, 7 games in, I got it at the first free bag. So it was just kind of luck of the draw. I'm pretty sure it's not set up to, you know, always give guys that, because, you know, I had trouble getting it. You can see it's one of the yellows. So yellow is like the rare. But so, you know, if this was Golf Clash, this would be like Horizon. So, but you know how advantageous that can be to getting to the par 5s. And 2, getting to those greens is going to create that possibility to get the eagles. So it is going to be really nice that I did just unlock that. And like I said, you know, it might be worth just getting into the game here and, you know, just starting off with this, starting off an account and just seeing how things go. Because, you know, I think, you know, a month, 2 months down the road, this game's really going to really be in a really great place. I already think it is. So, you know, I've been playing this game pretty regularly, and that's why I, you know, wanted to go out here. I wanted to put out some basic content. This is the very first video that I've done, and, you know, I'll continue to do more if you guys really get some use out of it. But at the same time, you know, if you are gaining use from it, you may want to comment on my posts, and also maybe follow my channel. Hit like on the things, you know, let me know that you're finding this content useful, and that way I know to keep creating more. Because if it doesn't seem like the interest is there, then I might just be a little bit more casual with the way that I post. But if you guys want to see, you know, those tournament strategy setups, you know, I'll try to do that. So keep all that in mind. Good luck with your progress, and hopefully you guys like the game as much as I do. You know, for me, it's a really refreshing change of pace from Golf Clash. Completely different format, and this is much more suitable to what I enjoy. Because you guys have known, anybody who knows me knows I don't like to just sit and play the tournament, same wind. And the fact that they've never changed from that, I'm just glad that there's a game out here now where they're doing a completely different style. Because I don't want to play the tournament and just play the same wind 5 times and hone in on the wind to make shots. It's no fun for me. This, on the other hand, keeps me thinking, you know, what adjustment, tweaks do I have to make given the wind on the fly? This is exactly what I like, and, you know, I'm hoping, you know, if my content can help, you know, maybe, you know, other guys can progress and can also develop a love for this style of game. So keep all that in mind. Good luck out there, and take care, guys.